Hey guys, welcome back to the bunker. It is Wednesday, which means we get to do another episode of Wild Color Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. We will be right back after a very quick intro, but we got some good stuff coming, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. All right, be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to the bunker. My name is Andrew, and I'll be your host tonight. Looks like we got a few folks online. Hey, what's up, Paul? Wild Color Wednesday, you got it, brother. What's up, Fishing with Funk? How's it going? Good deal. Looks like we got a couple of more folks joining right now. Okay, let's get this party started. This is your first time here joining us on Wild Color Wednesday. This is a live broadcast where we're going to make some baits right in front of your face. You guys get to see them made right here, and usually we will have a contest to give these away every single week. So it behooves you to pay attention a little bit later in the week. Usually Fridays we do the giveaway stuff. So anyway, if you're joining us tonight, we get to do some live bait making right in front of your face. Stay tuned. Good stuff throughout the show. Tonight we're going to have a little bit of extra surprise tonight, so make sure you guys stay till the end. What's up, Dan? How you doing, sir? What's up, Scotty? Heck yeah. All right. So without further ado, let's officially get this show started. What's up, Miller? He wants to go inside. Hang on. We got a cheers, everybody. Hopefully you guys have a nice ice cold beverage. Thanks for joining us this evening. Tonight's color, let me let him in real quick. So tonight's color is going to be a throwback on an old school classic. It's still around. You can find it some places, but it's getting harder and harder to find these days. But an old school classic called Dark Pumpkin. This is another brand of plastic that makes this one here. If you guys can see kind of that color, but we're gonna get close to that. It's not gonna be exact because I like mine to be a little bit different, but that's okay. Hey, what's up, Joey? Yeah, Joey was super sick last week. Sorry, bud. Glad you're feeling better. Thanks for tuning in. Dan says, long-time listener, first-time caller here at the Bunker Baits hotline. You guys can call 1-800-BUNKER BAITS, and we will take a call right here live on the air, answer all your questions about bait making. Well, if you have questions, we would. Go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'll ask them or answer them as best I can. All right, let's go ahead and get started here before our plastic gets too cold, because I will sit here and jabber all night. Let's get started on this dark pumpkin color. Our base for this is going to be this amber. This is Lure Works 114 amber. Good stuff here. This is going to be a majority of our color tonight. And we're going to darken it up a little bit with some brown, some root beer, and maybe a splash of this neo orange. Maybe put that little Bunker Baits twist on the recipe. So here we go. This is going to be a bunch. Probably about 300, 400 drops worth, I would say, is going to be the big majority of this color here. Chris wants to know, do brownie bass actually exist? They do. They do, Chris. I haven't caught any this year, come to think of it. No 2026 bass out of brownie for me yet. But I do know they exist. I've caught them in there before. I've heard it's been kind of tough out there, especially that drop in water level. Seen a few people kind of figure it out. I'm wondering if the water temps have come up a little bit. Maybe that crank and bite is turned on a little. I don't know. All right, so this is a bunch of amber color on there. So that's going to be our basis. All right, we're going to darken this up now with Lure Works Brown Oxide 113. Make sure if it'll zoom. For focus, I mean. What's up, Mr. Waller? How you doing, sir? Sorry, Chris. This time of year can be really tough fishing. All right, so we're going to do about probably 100 drops worth there and really kind of darken that up just a little bit. Nothing crazy. There we go. I went out to CJ last week, did okay on the bass. I know that's not Brownlee bass, but CJ was fun. I caught a couple largies too. Dan says turquoise flake. We're going to go old school, just black for now, Dan. We'll see how this kind of looks. All right, we're adding some, this is a root beer color from Lure Works, root beer 119. Right there. Okay, we're getting so close to the old school dark pumpkin color, but we're going to orange it up a little bit. I do want to see what this looks like with some little bit of orange mixed in, like actual. This is Neo Orange from Dead On Plastics. Show you there. We're just going to add this to taste. Nothing crazy. I don't want these things to glow like crazy, but definitely want to put, oh, there we go. That is looking good. All right. The final addition is, I don't have a label, but is 0.040 Black Hex Flake. Chris is asking any chartreuse tails. So I can do colored, different colored tails. But let me tell you first how I have to do it, because I don't have one of those fancy injection machines that does it for us. For them, for the big companies that do tails one color and the body another. Those are usually section molds that have sections of it that get like gates that open and close. So they'll inject one color with certain gates open and closed, swap them, shoot the other color. I can't do that at my level. So what I have to do to get different color tails is I have to shoot one round of the tail color I want first, pull it out of the mold, cut it, put the tails back in the mold, and then shoot that second color and hope that I did it fast enough and hot enough on that second color that I get a good adhesion, if you will, between the body and the tails, because they're two different colors and they were injected at two different times. So sometimes you don't get really good connection there, but you hope so. But that's why I don't generally do different color tails. What's up, Mr. Fulenkamp? How's the night going? It is going, sir. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here. We're live on a couple of platforms tonight. Hey, Mr. Denny, how you doing, sir? Thanks for tuning in. If you guys are just joining us, we're doing a dark pumpkin tonight, throwback in an old school color. I think we're about there for the first round to see what we got going on. Let me heat this back up. Here we go. So we'll get that back up to temp here. First molds tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to do some jar heads. I want to see what these are going to look like in the jar heads. I can't wait to see that. And we're going to do some 4-inch grenadiers, the beaver style base. That'll be round one to give us an idea. However, we're going to have a bonus mold that are going to be, well, you guys will see it when we open after the first round. It's not going to be a secret all the way to the end, but I do have a surprise for you at the end of tonight. A little behind the scenes, a secret look, if you will, how certain baits are made. You just stay tuned. You'll see. It's going to be pretty cool. So we will get that secret mold. That's this one right here. You'll see me inject this the first round, but you'll know what it is as soon as I open it after the very first round, first round. Rick, I do have a way to heat the tails up so that I can have a better success rate. I just can't do it in a timely manner to have it be sort of a production level thing that I could offer through Bunker Baits. It takes me too long to make a two-color bait in order to offer to you guys. It would just cost too much because it takes me too much time to do that, if that makes sense, Rick. So it can be done. It's not very cost effective from a manufacturing standpoint, if that makes sense. However, for hobby stuff, if you guys are just in the game just to make some cool stuff, that is where it gets really fun. And I highly encourage every angler out there to at least do some sort of lure manufacturing on your own, because it's really cool feeling making the baits yourself and then catching fish on them It's really awesome to know that you made something that fooled those fish. So I highly encourage you guys from a hobbyist standpoint to get into bait making. It's a good time. Yeah, right. Chris nailed it. Personally use only. You know what I do, honestly? If I want a different color tail, I use Spike It, the Dip and Glow stuff, and I do different color tails that way. That's my way of cheating and get different colored tails, honestly, because I don't even take the time to make them for me. So that's right, Dan. We're gonna do the Jarheads absolutely first. First to storm the beaches. There we go. I think we're there. Okay, I think we're good there. Good there. Mold's closed. Things are hot. All right, let's shoot first round here, and then we'll get to yakking about the giveaway from last week for last week's color. If you guys missed out on Lava Craw, boy, that was a really cool one. All right. Other than that, here we go for round one. Here we go. Yeah, I think we nailed it. Okay, so I wasn't looking for a super solid color. I want a little bit of transparency in the tails. I think we're going to be there based on what I just saw coming out. Let's hope for the best. See what happens here. Oh, yeah, we're plenty warm, so that's a good injection there. Uh-oh, Dan says you got an idea. Chris Wicker wants to know what's the best fish I've caught on a bunker baits. It was a 6.78 largemouth out of a Wahi last year during May. I was using a bunker baits chubby in the Wicked color. That's the black and blue top and green pumpkin belly. That was on a chatterbait, black and blue chatterbait. That was the best fish I've ever caught using a bunker baits bait. What about you guys? What's your guys' personal best on a bunker baits lure? It's a great question there, Chris. Yeah, Delta Mike says big. Yeah, that was a awesome day. It rained most of the day, but boy, that made them fish really want to start eating. And so that was a fun fight. At first, I thought it was a dink because it was coming right at me. I was like, there's no way. And then she passed the boat and then went another 40 yards out towards the main lake, just rip and drag. And then I was like, oh, this has got to be a carp or something. But David had already seen it jump, and he was like big. Well, I had my rain hood on. It was down, and I couldn't see it. I just heard the splash. So I still wasn't sure it was a bass. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then I finally saw it, and it was a good one. Yeah, Brian says chubby for the win. Absolutely. Okay, let's keep this plastic hot for round two. I may have prematurely put it in there. Need to top off one of these molds. They're really drinking some plastic. Goodness. There we go. Last thing we want is air bubbles. Okay. All right. Those will get to nuking for round two. So we did round one. So now we know. Dan, no, not within eyesight of Doe Island. More towards the airport area. I know that's a broad area, but it was more towards the airport. Anyway, all right, let's do the giveaway from last week. If you guys didn't see it, let me grab a couple of these here. A couple bags of the awesome Lava Craw color. There we go. These are the Draco lizards. I shot a bunch of them in these platoon leaders for the stick baits. The craws really turned out good. Man, we've made quite a few bags of these in the last couple of days. So let's do the giveaway for last week's Lava Craw. All right, I'm going to share a screen with you guys here just a second. Oh, what do we got here? There we go. I think you guys can see and hear me. There we go. Okay. Lance, I did. Brian Lewis won one last week, but I was a dummy and I forgot to give it to him. I realized that today. So, all right, here's the names for the Lava Craw. In addition to this, you will also be up. Also have the opportunity to win the hat donated by Lance Pitcher. This is the second hat that he's donated. Okay, we've got them pasted in there. Okay, I think we're going to go. We're going to shuffle these a bunch of times so you guys can't say that I didn't do it enough or this, that, and the other. But we're going to make sure we do it right. Okay, that's at least 25, 30, 35. There we go. That's plenty of shuffles. Let's go. One spin for the win. Who's comments? I'll reply to it and let you know you're the winner. Sweet. That is somebody brand new. No no multiple winners this time. Okay, are we back? There we go. Okay. What's rut row? What do you mean, Lance? Is this somebody that we know? Okay, clearing out the ejector here, and we're going to get ready for round 2. Right after we open the molds for round 1 here. Oh, what happened to Travis Coons? Oh no, did I miss something on social media? Travis, what's up with your hands, man? I know it's probably a lot to throw in the comments, but I think they will, Chris. They're gonna pick whoever. I don't know who it is, but that's crazy. All right, let's open some molds here. Of course, we're gonna do the Jarhead first. Can you guys still hear me? Everything's good. Audio, visual. Are we back? Hey, let me know, Mike. Love to help you out, sir. Okay, here is the very first reveal of that dark pumpkin. This is that Jarhead shape first. Oh, I think we nailed it first time go here. As far as the saturation goes, look at it, that awesome pumpkin color. You guys see it over here? I like that. Oh no, Travis. Dude, that stinks, man. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That is not. Oh, I hope it heals up quick. I haven't even seen a picture of it, so I can't be even. I can only imagine what you're saying. That's crazy. Hey, Mr. Surdich, you back? Oh, there's a fire. I thought that was a hand waving. I guess I got disconnected there for a second. Okay, thanks, Dave. Let me know. All right. So it's two Jarheads. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I'm not even showing you guys what we're doing here. Let's show you the beavers here. Here comes the 4-inch Grenadiers. Look at these guys. Come on, camera. Help me out here. Look at that color on the tail. You got that nice solid brown body. I'll show over here. That way you guys can see it a little bit better. Oh, I like it. This is a good throwback from that old school dark pumpkin. Really liking it. Okay, it looks like we're back now. Audio, video, everything's good. Okay, there is number 2. Just as good as the first one here. Why is it so blurry? This autofocus sometimes, I swear. I don't want to switch to the dark side, Travis. Reel with the other hand. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I like the color too. All right, we're going to hang these up real quick, and then I'm going to show you guys the secret mold. We're going to open that, and it's going to give away what we're doing, but that's okay. It's still a surprise right now. You guys still don't know what we're going to do, so keep you guessing. Anybody want to give a guess what we're going to do? What that mold is? It's kind of flat. It's got the injection on the side. Anybody who's done bait making for a while probably knows what it is. All right, here we go. Mystery mold. Okay, I'll check it out, Travis. Man, I hope it heals fast, dude. That's crazy. That's nuts. All right, mystery mold. Open it up here. Survey says, you guys guessed it. There you go. What are these? That looks like a plastic skirt, doesn't it? What in the world can we make with a plastic skirt? maybe we'll keep that part a surprise, but we're going to set some of these to the side. Save those for the end. We got 2 of those in there. You see those? They're little squids. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Oh, Julie says a leech, maybe. It's definitely a creature, I would say. I don't even think they exist in the wild, but for real. All right, let's grab the second set of molds. What we're going to do is, I want to see these in a rifleman, a more compact, kind of a craw color. I think that's going to look good. And then we're going to do some Draco lizards. And then, of course, one more round of the mystery mold here. Man, I'm scared to go look at the picture, man. I'm sorry, Travis. That really stinks. Yeah, I think we're warm enough for another round here. Yep, let's send it. I think we're good enough. Here we go, round 2. Scotty knows what I'm making. Scotty's helped bag these recently. That's why Scotty knows. It'll be worth it, I promise. Whoever wins this week's going to be, places like Lowell and Oahe. This thing is going to work amazing. So here we go. Round 2. Some of you guys are probably wondering why you see me pour it inside the injector this time rather than the dual injector when I suck it up at the same time. I get less air bubbles this way, I think. But I can't do it with the dual injector because it just takes too long with 2 colors. But a single color, I can do it. Okay, here we go. Draco lizards. There's one. I about knocked my light off the stand up there. Another lizard. There's one rifleman. One more to go there. I need to start playing music. It's too quiet out here. I had the garage door cracked open just a hair a minute ago, but it's starting to really kind of gust out there, and I had snow and stuff coming in from underneath the door. There we go. Okay, successful round 2. Okay, we're going to have enough. Yeah, we'll have enough for round 3. We'll have just enough for round 3, and then we'll show you something cool. I do not. What'd I miss, Lance? It tingles a little bit at first. I don't even want to know what you said. Chris, I have a heater. I got an electric one. It's okay. But the fumes I try to get, long story short, I get a phthalate-free blended plastic, so it's not great for you, but it's the best probably for you out there, out of the plastics that are out there. It doesn't have a lot of the phthalates in there that are really harmful. So anyway, but I still like to keep ventilation going. So I usually have a fan going. Well, it's too loud while I'm live. It's very obnoxious. So I usually crack the door while I'm live with you guys just to get that going. But yeah, it's a little bit breezy and chilly this evening, so I'd rather not do that. Not to mention it really cools off your molds super fast, which can really kind of mess up your bait making too. So all right, we're gonna get this in the microwave, get it ready for round 3. You'll have just enough to make this work for what we're planning. It's going to be close. We'll probably have to make a few of these off camera, all said and done, but it's okay. I have a plan. We will stick with it. All right, let's get stuff ready to go. Yeah, Chris, it can be bad for you. I generally have ventilation going. If I use some of the other plastics that have a lot of those harmful vapors, I wear a mask, all that kind of stuff. I wear a mask when I do lead stuff. So I try to be as safe as I can, best I can, within reason, because sometimes, you guys know, sometimes it's a bit ridiculous. But all right, here we go. Round 2 molds. Let's open them up. This is the Rifleman, which is a very, very compact flipping craw. If you guys are looking to flip extremely heavy cover and need a slender bait that kind of slips through a little bit easier, just picture a 3/4, 1 ounce, 1 1/4, maybe all the way up to 1.5 ounce weight right in front of this, and it should punch through almost anything. So those look pretty sweet. I think we got the transparency right. If you guys look at some of that goldish amber color coming through the tails there, I think I see it more because the light's angled a different way for me, but heck yeah. Chris, yes, different plastisols, big differences in the different companies that are out there. With regards to clarity, regards to smell, how they keep colors, how do they keep flakes buoyant in the mixture when it's warm, things like that. So lots of differences. And for anybody that's getting into the bait making hobby, I would say try a bunch of them, find the one you like, and then go with that. Yeah, pretty much, Plaza. I mean, in a nutshell. You got it. All right, here we go. They stayed on the top. All right, here's the Draco lizards. Check those out. Come on. There we go. There's a good focus. Yeah, I think we got the transparency right. Those tails look great. You still see the color coming through there. I think we nailed it. You guys can see him there. Chris, I got I wouldn't say a bad batch. I did get one that was probably labeled wrong as far as the barometer, durometer of hardness. I ordered a medium blend. This blend came out really, really finessey, really soft. So I guess you could call it a bad batch, but that's okay. I just added some hardener to the mix and brought it back. All right, here's the second lizard mold. Thanks, Cody. Okay, round 2 success. And of course, we'll open up the Mr. Mold. You guys will see the skirts one more time. Oh, I kind of gave it away. What plastic lures have skirts? Here we go. These are pretty fun. When they actually stick like that, you can pop them off there. Come on. There it goes. Whoop. Okay, we got one more round for sure. Right? Pumpkin juice, Dan says. Yeah, pretty much. Fresh squeezed pumpkin. That's exactly what it looks like. Okay, let's move these molds. And we've got 4 more here to go. One of which is the Warthog, because I think it's going to look awesome in that style bait. And then the other is a mystery that's going to get paired up with some of these here in just a minute. Let me get these hung up real quick. Okay, here we go. All hung up. Let's get some gloves. We're going to see how much plastic we got left. We might be able to do an encore with a remelt, possibly a remelt encore. We're going to see. Mike Beach asked, have I ever got Plastisol too hot? I have. And in the bait making world, we call it making a muffin. Essentially, the Plastol reaches ignition, it'll actually burn and fry. You guys remember the old school fireworks, the snakes you used to light on the sidewalk and they would do their thing? It's exactly what a Plastisol thing does. Lance is asking, how come I never add salt? That is a very good question. I have been asked that before. So some of this is my personal opinion, but some of it is proven facts too. Salt was generally used as a filler in plastics back in the day because it was cheaper than what it would cost to get the plastic. And it was advertised that it helped with catching fish. Now, does it actually help catch a fish? I'm sure sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. My concern was durability. Some of the brands load their stuff with salt, but they get torn up pretty quick. So I think for me, I'm trying to find that happy medium between durability and still having enough action. So that's generally why I don't add salt, but I will absolutely add salt if you guys want to do custom orders. I can 100% add salt to lures. That's too easy. No big deal. And I can do that for you guys so you guys get the same exact maybe blend you're looking for from other companies. Hopefully that answered your question, Lance. Now, to some of my personal baits, I absolutely add salt to some of my personal ones. Like if I'm going to do certain stick baits and I want a certain action out of them, yeah, I load them things down with salt. But I can, like I said, I'd be happy to make those for you guys if that's what you guys want. But from a manufacturing standpoint, as far as production levels, I generally don't add salt. Not to mention it tears up your equipment pretty quick too. Your injectors, your machinery you use with the hot plastic, that salt really breaks down your stuff pretty quick too. Oh, thanks, Plaza. I know it has salt in there. All right, here we go. Round 3. With the warthogs, the mystery mold, and the other mystery molds soon to be revealed as to why. Why do we have 2 different molds that are a secret? It'll be worth the wait, I promise. Okay, here we go. Warthogs. There's one. Two. Mystery mold number 1. I guess that's mystery mold number 2. That was the mystery mold initially. Okay. And another round of skirts. Okay, there we go. Good, successful round 3, I believe. I don't know if I have enough plastic to do an encore. I'll have to make some more. We'll see. I don't think it'll be just enough, though. Nope. It's all good. I think we'll have a decent amount of baits for the giveaway anyway. While this is cooling off, I'm going to get something prepped for the next part that's going to be kind of interesting. You guys can see from a hobbyist standpoint, or at least this level of bait making craft, a step in bait making that's kind of a jump for some people. It opens some possibilities, and especially if you're being creative with certain ideas and bait making deals. As soon as I show this to you guys are gonna be like, oh, that's how. Okay. I should have planned this a little bit better. It's moving day. I think you guys can see that with one of the cameras here. Maybe. Might have to. I don't even think I can move that camera, honestly. There we go. Can you guys see this right here? Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, good deal. Man, you can almost see it with this other camera. It's going to be all crooked. Lance, yes, I did. I just got him yesterday. So So those will be coming soon. I got to get packaging though. For you guys that order from us swim baits, we've got clamshell packaging for our 3/8 and our 2.8s. But I just got some 3.3 molds, but I'm waiting on packaging to show up so that we can start selling the 3.3 swim baits. I did get another secret mold today. Wanted to try it out. We're going to see if we're going to add it to the lineup. I'm going to do some R&D on it though. Okay. So I think that's going to work okay right there. All right, let me open these up here. Are we cool enough? Not quite. Trying to jump the gun here. We are not quite ready. No, not quite, Dale. Funny you asked that though. So I've got an idea. You guys have to be on the lookout. How would you guys, or what would you guys think if I offered a dice bait making kit that you had the cubes already cut and like the squares, and then they came with a couple strands of skirt material, and all you got to supply is a needle, and then yeah, you could make your own dice baits at home. Would that be something you guys would be interested in? That'd be kind of cool. Because I'll be honest, it stinks having to waste. You think about every couple of baits that I make. This is 4 baits for this strand of plastic. But if I could take this little strand of plastic here, cut it into cubes, put it in a little kit so you guys can make your own date or your own dice baits, I think why not? 2 birds, 1 stone. I wouldn't have to waste. I say waste plastic. I remelt that stuff and make other weird colors, but that would be kind of cool if you guys can make your own dice baits at home at a fraction of the price. You guys help me recycle some plastic. I think it's a win-win, honestly. So we may put some of those together here pretty soon. All right. I think we're just about ready to open some molds. Yeah, we're good enough here. Sweet. All right. Sounds like you guys might like it then. That's good. All right, here we go. We're going to open that first mystery mold one more time because we're going to need this here in a second. So there's 2 more awesome skirts. Now this is the only skirt mold I've got in this size, this bigger skirt mold. I've got a smaller one, but Mr. Wicker nailed it earlier that these are the sometimes baits are the personal ones that you make, and you can't really do it on a commercial level. But tonight I wanted to at least show you guys something cool. So, all right, let's open up the clamp here. We will get, let's look at those warthogs first. I know the camera's old jack. You guys can't see everything right now, but okay, there is the warthog. Oh, I like those. I think we nailed the dark pumpkin part. Come on, there we go. Now it focused. I like those. Set those aside to cure in a straight line here. Okay, we got 4 more of those coming. Yeah, right. I think so too, Paul. It'd be a fun family activity. Doesn't have to be a sharp sewing needle. They make dull ones that kids could make their own baits too. That'd be really cool. Oh, there's another couple of good warthogs right there. Okay, now for the secret. It'll all make sense why we made skirts, because they sometimes I do. Michael Plaza's asking, what do we do with that long piece in that middle that all the baits are attached to? If it's a solid color, I remelt those and use them again in that color next time I make them. If it's a dual part color like that one I showed you, I'll decide whether I want to keep those and remelt them, or I sell them to other bait makers that melt them down to make other colors. All right, here we go. Here was the big surprise in the other mold. Check out these big old honking twin tail grubs. These are 5-inch twin tails, 5-inch Shammer twins. Look at them big old things. So now you get an idea of what we might be doing with some grubs and some skirts. You guessed it already. Bravo to you. If you haven't yet, it soon will be revealed here in about the next 30 seconds as I plug in this heater real quick. See if we can make this happen. Okay, we got one more to open here. Okay, one more mold of the 5-inch twin tails. We're just going to make a pile of those for now because we're going to use them here in a second. But we're going to do some Frankensteining on some baits. So what I've got set up here, if you guys can see this, is actually a styrofoam cutter from Harbor Freight. But this thing works really well for what we're going to do here. And we're going to melt some plastic pieces. I'm going to try to demonstrate a dry run here for you. But essentially, we'll take this skirt in one hand. We'll take this grub in the other. And we'll melt on either side of that hot metal. And we'll melt these two together. And we'll make ourselves some hula grubs. So, oh, thanks, Cody. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. As soon as this guy gets a little bit hotter, we're going to assemble some grubs. Let's see how close I can actually get this camera, maybe. Nope, that's it. I thought I was going to be able to get a little bit closer. There we go. I think you guys can see it from this camera here. Not so much on this one. You guys are just stuck staring at my ugly mug with this one. So we'll see what happens here. Thanks, Nathaniel. Frank, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in, man. All right, Lance got an idea. Love to hear it. Okay, here we go. We're going to make some hula grubs by melting 2 halves of baits to make our hula grubs. So here we go. Each one takes about, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15, depending how hot your deal is set up. Oh, there must have been some blue flakes, some old plastic on there from before. There we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how a hula grub is made. That will ever focus in on the bait. There we go. That's a hula grub. You guys see it on the other camera. There you go. Okay, there's one. Let's knock out the rest of these. I think we got enough skirts to make 6 of these real quick. But you guys saw how long it takes. You know, it's just a dual cavity mold for the skirts. I mean, it took, do 3 rounds, about 6 minutes each round. So you can see why it would take a while to do hula grubs from a manufacturing standpoint. The big companies have the fancy machines that do it way, way faster. Hey, what's up, Roy? Purple taint, Travis says. I don't want to know what you guys are talking about. Okay, there's 2. I didn't show you those. I'll show you all of them grouped together at the end here. Got a few more to assemble. The important piece here is, or most important part to remember, safety. Don't touch it with your bare hands, the hot stuff. It's not good. It's not going to end well for you. All right, there's another one. You guys see that? Thanks, Frank. Hula Paratrooper. Yeah, Dan, we could put these on a Paratrooper. That would look cool. You can also do different color skirts with different color baits. The skirt could be the highlight. The bait could be the highlight. You could do like a green pumpkin skirt around a chartreuse grub, something like that. Or vice versa. Make the skirt all like a bright purple over a black grub. Possibilities are endless. But if you guys want these, you're going to have to get into bait making yourself, because I don't do these for sale. They just take too long. I wish I could, folks, but they just take far too long. But maybe we'll do some fun stuff for giveaways every now and then. Makes you wonder how they do it in the factories. All the hula grubs, I really don't know. Okay, we got one more skirt. Let's make one more here. The Hula Trooper. Yeah, you could put skirts on any bait you can think of, honestly. All right. There we go. Hula grub number 6 of the lineup. Let me turn it so you guys can actually see it. There we go. And that's how hula grubs are made from a hobby level of bait making. I'm going to move this out of the way here. There we go. All right. Now I can say goodbye to you folks this evening properly. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Had a really good time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the baits from tonight. Especially the hula grub, man. That thing looked pretty sick. I think we might spend a little bit of time on some personal baits, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But all right. Anyway, folks, appreciate you guys staying tuned till the end. It was kind of fun to kind of show you guys a little back scenes of how those are made and stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully you guys like the color. As always, it was a good time on my end. Until next week, hopefully you guys get out and do some fishing. Hopefully weather cooperates. Stay safe out there. There's still some low water spots, especially out of Brownlee. So be careful out there. So, all right, folks, have a good night. We will see you guys next week. Take care.